And Chair, where the PS must update us or should update us is a matter related to Ugandans in the Middle East. Given the fact that all countries are giving advisory to their citizens, you must be aware about what is going on. All countries in the Middle East are engulfed in war, and whereas our people go there to do work not as specialists, our ministry must have a position, and that position, especially in case things get worse, what happens to them? How do they get evacuated? Specifically, I would like to hear about Ugandans in Iran. How many are they, and how do they get evacuated? At the moment, they are students. There are those that went to do other works. Are we in communication and are we in touch? Chair, I think that will be very important information for this committee. Thank you.
Honorable Basa, you are the one with you said you have an interest.
By many countries, including we here in Kampala. As we know, the situation is fluid to the extent that the entire airspace, more or less, has been closed, and therefore flights are not operating. We have engaged the leadership. The leadership there has been proactive. Yesterday, in the last 2 days in the UAE, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs over the United Arab Emirates has engaged the entire diplomatic corps and given them an update on the status of what is happening in their country. And they've advised what the foreign citizens as well as their citizens need to do. And the advice they've given is restriction of movements, and perhaps staying indoor. Our missions, both missions in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, as well as Abu Dhabi, were advised by authorities to operate from home, and that's what they're doing at the moment. These embassies have reached out to the Ugandan leaders because they have communities, the communities have leadership, and issued written guidance to what our members of the diaspora need to do, and also given contact numbers for them to contact. Having said that, Madam Chair and members, we have only had one incident of a Ugandan who was hit by some debris in the UAE, and he's being attended to by our embassy. In respect to Ugandans in Tehran, Madam Chair, as you know, Iran has had sanctions for the longest time, so I can urge you that it's not been very or extremely attractive for Ugandans to go and seek greener pastures in Tehran. Having said that, the government of Iran has been offering study opportunities in sciences to our Ugandans. And as a result, we had 43 Ugandans who are studying in universities at different levels, bachelor's and master's, that we know and have been in touch with our embassy on a regular basis. You recall that in June, when a similar incident happened, our embassy managed to repatriate or evacuate the Ugandan students. Now, on that occasion, there were indeed some Ugandans that were known to our embassy. They were contacted and asked whether we would evacuate them as well, but they clearly advised the embassy that they will take care of their own affairs. Now, in this particular incident, indeed, as soon as the bombing started, our mission in Tehran coordinated with our embassy in Ankara and moved all the 43 students to Turkey. Moved them to Turkey. They spent 2 nights in Turkey, and as we speak, they are airborne, returning to Uganda. They will arrive later today. All the 43 students.
Okay.
In respect to not having an embassy in Pakistan, Madam Chair, as you'll appreciate, we have 38 missions, and these missions, by and large, operate in a manner that if you have, for instance, our embassy in Tanzania is also accredited to Zambia. Our embassy in Kenya is also accredited to the Seychelles, and that's really on account of being frugal and because we can't be everywhere. But I take the point that Pakistan should be a country of interest, the nuclear power, and we shall make that point to Cabinet to see that perhaps we have a presence in Pakistan, but that may mean a trade-off whereby we retire one embassy and open one in Pakistan. That's a possibility. But otherwise, we shall be here in Parliament seeking for funding for an extra embassy, and we don't know how successful we shall be. Madam Chair, whether it is safe to travel to the Gulf. Madam Chair, the fact that the airspace is closed, I would want to say that we can hold on any travel without saying whether it is safe or not. But I would propose that we suspend our travel until it's very clear that the airspace is opened. Madam Chair, in terms of where the most opportunities exist, this one varies, Madam Chair. There is a lot of employment opportunities in the Middle East, but that's low-level employment. It's externalized labor for helpers, house helpers, and so on. But there are countries such as Vienna, Canada, that are looking for professional specialized employment. Some of these are nurses, but at the same time, these countries have a duty to ensure that they do not deplete the country, like Uganda, of their professional workforce. I think it's part of their regulations, that in attracting externalized labor in specialized areas, they do not compromise these
years around. And number two, they have been talking about taxes, taxing their income. Can you give us an update on how you tax the income of those in the diaspora? We shall not go into issues of what is happening in the diaspora because of sovereignty and these others. We shall restrict ourselves to matters of audit and not the other issues that are happening in our sister countries. But also you'll have to speak briefly to the state of our foreign missions, much as we shall have discussions later. But you need to give us a brief of how the missions are really operating. Lastly, you will also update us about the staffing levels of your entity. Yeah, that's all from me. Yes, Honorable Nsamba.
Fire. Yes, the relationship notwithstanding. And I want to pick it from there. Chair, I want to understand from the PS position of Uganda with regard to the invasion of Iran by America and Israel, bearing in mind that Iran is a member of the non-aligned movement and Uganda is also a member of the non-aligned movement. What is our position as a country? Number two, Chair, I was recently in Iran, and the PS is aware. But up to now, we don't have an ambassador. Ever since Ambassador Muhammad Chisambira died, the embassy is lacking leadership. There are staff there who are competent, but the embassy has no leadership up to now. I want to understand what exactly is taking this long to have an ambassador, and we have candidates here. Honorable Nguradea can work as an ambassador for Iran and others, but it's of bigger interest. Two, unrelatedly, Chair, Pakistan
which is one of the nuclear powers and a very big economy, we have no embassy in Pakistan. And it raises a very big concern. And you are talking about Ugandans. There are actually more Ugandans in Pakistan because education there is one of the cheapest around that area. But that we don't have an embassy in one of the nuclear powers of the world and one of the biggest economies around is something that I think you need to interest ourselves into. And then also finally, and relatedly, to advise us whether it is now safe to fly to the Gulf countries. Because people are flying, they are flying their way. By the way, I'm aware of colleagues who are now in Saudi Arabia. I don't know how they got there, but they are there. Is it now safe? Can I go for Umrah tomorrow? P.S. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Asman. P.S. Kindly, one is seeking for employment. And you also tell us about the scholarships that you have, we've got from.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair and honorable members, for the issues that have been raised. Madam Chair, the issue you raised initially was on the number of Ugandans in the diaspora. Madam Chair, we know that in some countries, like the UAE, we have approximately 100,000 Ugandans that are in the UAE. In Saudi Arabia, the number is almost 200,000. Qatar, around 50,000 Ugandans. South Africa has a very large number of Ugandans, but we don't have the exact figures.
At least give an estimate.
In South Africa, I think we have an estimate of around 150,000 Ugandans, or even more.
Okay.
In the US, there is a very, very big number of Ugandans, perhaps in excess of around 300,000. The UK also has, but these figures I'll verify and give an accurate number, Madam Chair, with your permission.
Okay.
The UK has a very large number as well, in excess of probably 400,000 Ugandans living in the UK, among others. Madam Chair, as you rightly put, when Ugandans travel, they travel independently. Some of them don't even notify the embassies. Having said that, all our embassies have diaspora activations, and the estimates I'm giving arise out of the diaspora engagements between our embassies and the Ugandan citizens that are living abroad. But allow me to give a comprehensive number of the diaspora in the various countries where we have our missions, but also where we don't have missions, but we know that Ugandans indeed are in those countries. Madam Chair, the second question was about the taxing of the income of members of the diaspora. It is true, Uganda Revenue Authority issued an advisory suggesting that they would be taxing members of the diaspora on their property. Last December, we did organize our annual diaspora event where members of the diaspora attended, and we invited the Uganda Revenue Authority to give an update or to provide information on what exactly they are going to be taxing. URA did make a presentation. It was detailed. The members of the diaspora asked questions. Some of them were convinced, some were not convinced. And we agreed that URA actually simplifies the information they had presented to make it very clear to members of the diaspora what exactly shall be taxed and how. That simplified information has not yet reached us, but Madam Chair, we shall give them a reminder to expedite it. Madam Chair, the other issue you raised was the state of our missions. And I can say, as the Honorable Asumani Baswell has mentioned, we don't have a head of mission in Tehran. The same is the case in Nairobi, Ottawa, Canada, as well as Abuja. And His Excellency the President is aware, as you'll appreciate, Madam Chair.
Yes, kindly give details about those countries. How many are they? Where I don't have mission, where I don't have substantive.
Madam Chair, I think there are 4. It is Tehran, Iran. It is Ottawa, Canada. It is Abuja, Nigeria, and Nairobi, Kenya.
Okay.
And actually, the President is very much aware that we don't have heads of mission there, but we have chargé d'affaires at the level of ambassador that are running the affairs of those missions. Having said that, we have moved some missions like the one in Tokyo, from the premises where they were to a more decent place. We have renovated and we continue to renovate many of the missions, and we shall give a detailed status of the missions that have been renovated. We continue to construct some of them, others at the tail end, others just at the formative stages. And Madam Chair, all that detail I shall provide. In terms of our staffing levels, the ministry has a staffing level of around 350 members of staff. That's a composition of the members at headquarters as well as those in missions abroad. Missions abroad have around 150, and the rest at headquarters. And we have an approved staff structure by the Ministry of Public Service. It is dynamic in the sense that if we have any deployments that are done, we seek the approval of the Ministry of Public Service to update our structure. Madam Chair, if I move on to Ugandans in the Middle East and the advisories and Canada. Having said that, Madam Chair, there are so many countries like Saudi Arabia. There's a very big number. They're in the oil and gas sector, they're in the financial services, and we have a list of those. We can share it with the committee, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, last one was on scholarships. I don't have the numbers, but we can dig into the numbers. We can get the numbers from our consular department. Madam Chair, but I just want to emphasize that every scholarship opportunity that the ministry receives, we pass it on to the scholarships committee in the Ministry of Education and Sports. They are the ones that administer the scholarships that you are presented to our country. I beg to submit, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Madam
Thank
Chair.
you, Mr. A moment.
I'm the chairperson of the Uganda-Iran Parliamentary Friendship Committee, and I ask that question from that perspective. Where do we stand as a country on that war? But also, secondly, Chair, the students in Iran, when there was an offer to return in June, when there was a conflict, the universities and the government of Iran told them that on coming back, they will be able to sponsor themselves. So they reached out to our embassy and said whether it would be possible for the government of Uganda to step in. And the government said they were unable. Government said it was unable. That's why some students didn't come back. It is true the embassy contacted them. Those who were in Kum, Isfahan, they were contacted. But they said when we go back to Uganda, we will not be able to get back to Iran. And indeed, those who came in June are here. They've not had an opportunity to go back because their scholarships were actually cancelled. So when there is this crisis, actually the universities will tell students, those who are ready to stay, but when they come back, they should be able to support themselves. And I think maybe as parliament, but also as government, I mean executive, it's important to understand the plight. Because people were asking why students were not ready to come back. It was fear of losing scholarships. And it is a reality. So I also thought that maybe perhaps that could be information that you could share with us if it is within your knowledge.
Yes, Honorable Shabe.
Chair, but he made a statement that Iran was not very attractive to Ugandans. I really doubt that is possible. And I would suggest that you yourself, you said there are many you don't know who are out there. But in such a moment, they remain Ugandans. So as you're thinking about evacuation plans, and think about those that you don't know, but they are there. Trust Ugandans, they are there. Because every day they go out to look for greener pastures. So just writing them off to say, we are only dealing with students, PS, I really want to think we can do better than that. Let us offer that, as a government of Uganda, if you're there, and we don't know that you're there, kindly, if you need our support, we are located at so that they can look for, given the fact that we don't have an embassy there, they can still be advised that you can be evacuated if you contacted us in this and such a manner. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Lokori, then we shall have Honorable.
Honorable Lokori.
Yeah. Allow me, Madam Chair and honorable members, to clarify what the Honorable Oshabe raised. Indeed, it is not true that we have closed our evacuation in Tehran or in Iran in general. We have communicated. Of course, we have local staff at the embassy. We have advised any Ugandans that may need to be evacuated to reach out to some contacts that we have provided. And we are open to assist any Ugandan who is still in Tehran to return home. Madam Chair, on the ones that returned, indeed, the 43, the bulk of the 43 that are returning, that are on their way back, are those individuals that were evacuated in June. In fact, some honorable members of parliament reached out yesterday, and the very members who reached out in June to say that their relatives or their constituents were in Tehran and they needed assistance. So it's part and parcel of the same team that returned. But it's also true, Madam Chair, as you'll appreciate, this is a matter of emergency, and it's not possible that any government department would have appropriated resources to send those people back after an incident such as that one. So it is true, there was no support that was offered for them to return to school thereafter, but for many of them, their families facilitated their return to the whatever. Now, the issue of those in the university in Qom, they have a team leader. That team leader advised us he was married there, and therefore he can't move with his family. And I'm sure the Honorable Basalirwa is aware. And he was our contact. So he told us he cannot move with his family. He would rather stay there. And that disabled us. We couldn't take any further action. Now, on the issue of Uganda's position on the invasion, Madam Chair, as you'll appreciate, and honorable members, we share the non-aligned movement. At least we are still chairs up to the end of this year. We shall hand over in January next year. Now within that scope or that framework, we have a consultative process as the chair. And consultations are ongoing in all our NAM chapters, namely New York, Geneva, and Brussels, on a statement that we as chair shall issue. Madam Chair, if I gave the position of Uganda, it would be preempting the consultative process that is ongoing, for which you are given a responsibility to chair and preside, and what we present should be something that is agreed. It is also true that Uganda is a sovereign and therefore should have its own independent views on that matter. We have written to the President with some options, and as you'll appreciate, he's the chief diplomat. I don't have the mandate to pronounce Uganda's position as of now, until I am guided.
So the fact that the other one is a chief diplomat, what is your title in line to diplomacy?
I'm a technocrat.
Okay,
who gets political leadership. So, Madam Chair, that is on that particular matter. Now, Madam Chair,
kakati essaawa eno nabadde ntunuulira Prime Minister we UK nga bamutadde ku nninga annyonnyole situation y'abantu ba United Kingdom abali mu Middle East bwe bakwatiddwa era bwe baevacuatingiddwa. Ekibuuzo kye kimu kyabuuziddwa owa America ne ba presidents bonna owa Canada wonna ne ba foreign ministers kati enninga esinga okubaawo bababuuza abantu baffe abali ku lutalo lwaguddewo luno nga tebategedde bayimiriddewa era bavuddeyo batya. Kinajjukirwa nti amawanga ga Africa ge gasinga okuweereza abantu baago okukola mu mawanga g'Abawarabu emirimu egitandikirwako. Ennaku ezo baayiyayo ekigambo ky'abakadaama naye bannayuganda abakola emirimu egyo. Ministry bwe yakoze era neeraga nti ekoze yaggyeyo ba student naye olwaliro tubatadde ku nninga nga twagala kumanya abatali ba student bo mubawadde advisory ki bo abo abatali ba student either abagenda nga bayitirwa mweno programu ya government externalization of labor oba abo abeetwala ku lwabwe nga banoonya greener pastures. Kakati iyo ministry erabika olwafudde ku ba student nerowooza baweddeyo. Wano ffe tubategeezezza nti bannayuganda gye bali muyiiye nkola egenda kubataasa. Era njagala kukozesa mukutu guno ab'amawulire gwe mpadde nkubire bannayuganda mwenna abaliyo nga mwali agadde okuyambibwako tomanye escalation bw'eneebeera. At least mu notifying ministry eno tugisabyewe engeri gye musobola okuba notifying nti tuli wano era tusobola kuyambibwa bwe tuti. Era tusuubira nti Ministry of Foreign Affairs egenda kubaggulirawo oluggi okulaba nga muyambibwa okulaba nga muvaayo. Kati n'ekyo kigenda eri amawanga ga Africa gonna. Omanyi ebintu bino bwe bibeerawo amawanga ga Africa olutalo ng'olwo lubeerawo ne batafaayo lugenda kutawaanya lutya ensi zaabwe lugenda ku impactinga tutya abantu baffe. Kati olwaleero tebalinayo konna buli omu ke yagambye muntu yenna oba kustowalinga amafuta naye nga automatically amafuta galina okulinnya. Lwaki galina okulinnya? Kuba gye gava olutalo gye lukola ki gye lusibuka. So kakati mawanga ga Africa tulina enkola eyo kimala tugwako
katujja kumala kutuuka wano wiiki namba nga tetulina amafuta ge tukozesa wano olyoka olabe abakulembeze baffe nga badduka emisinde nga bavaayo. Naye ku kino ekyabannayuganda kyo tekijja kulinda. Twagala Ministry ya Foreign Affairs eteekewo omukutu, eteekewo engeri yonna bannayuganda abali Iran. Naye ne si Iran yokka, kubanga olutalo lusobola okwexiskalatinga ne lugenda ate mu mawanga gonna gonna agaliraanya Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, zonna ensi eziri awo, Yemen, zonna eziri mu kiwondo ky'Abawarabu. Kyalibadde kyetaagisa okuba nti kati ministry yaffe eri top on the game. Manyi bagenda kwekwasa tebalina ssente, naye mu kaseera kano teriyo nsi ebadde na budget eyo. Mu kaseera kano buli omu alina kuyiiya afunye atya, alina kuyiiya ssente ezo zirabise zitya ez'okutaasa abantu. Awo ne tugenda okulabira nti ddala bannayuganda bagasa. Bwe bataafeeyo tujja kutegeereza ddala nti buli munnayuganda alina kwerwanirako, anaafaafe anaalamaalame. Naye nga tubagamba nti babeeko kye bakola. Waakiri okubagamba kuba nawulidde Abamerika abagundi Abangereza nga bagamba bannange Omani ali eyo yenna tuli mu kutegeka ennyonyi egenda kuva eyo Omani ku lunaku bwe ruti. Ku bunyonyi wano bwe tulina obuteera wano nga butudde, naffe tusobola okusaba akaseera kano ne kagenda awantu wonna ne tulabika nga tulina kye tukola okulaba nga tuwa ekitiibwa bannayuganda kye bagwanidde.